Welcome to Housing for Good, a podcast dedicated to housing topics and issues affecting our communities in McPherson County and beyond. With years of experience and expertise, hosts Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore discuss housing challenges and opportunities with other experts from a variety of housing fields.
Welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Karolyn.
And I'm Chris.
And Chris, we are going to talk a little bit about what we observed over Thanksgiving. So the amount of food insecurity in this country is hitting the stratosphere.
It is.
So it used to be people that used the food banks were unemployed or they were on a very low fixed income, and they would use the food bank to supplement what they were getting just to get through the month.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore.
No.
I mean, a lot of seniors are really struggling, a lot of young families.
Well, but the part that's changed, there are large numbers of people that actually have a job,
Yes.
but they can't make it work. They still cannot feed their family on what they're making. And so the article we have before us today talks about what was observed over Thanksgiving.
Okay, here's some really interesting stats. North Valley Food Bank in Whitefish served 613 families a Thanksgiving meal, which is a record high. They've never had that many before.
That's in Montana.
Montana, yeah. I was wondering where Whitefish was. I mean, Montana's pretty rural, so it's not like we're talking about big, like L.A. or New York or, Chicago, any of those really big cities. I'm sure it might be a large community, but 613 people without. Yeah. And then it says they anticipate, this is a pretty mind-boggling, they anticipate more than 1,000 food bank customers for their Christmas holiday distribution on December 18th and 19th. Mm-hmm. So 1,000 food bank customers, so that's probably one family.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be way more than 1,000.
Yeah.
If you triple that or double that, you're talking at least 2,000 to 3,000 people who are having to come in and get assistance to be able to have Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, what else do we got here? So this holiday season, food banks say they're facing a greater need than ever before in Silicon Valley. Now that's California.
Yeah.
1 in 6 people are coming in for food assistance. In San Francisco, that number is 1 in 5. But the organizations say donations are not keeping up with demand. So it's pretty hard to donate something if you yourself are struggling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I don't know, churches a lot of times, I know in our community, they were the place where everybody brought their food and it got taken over to the food bank. But I don't know if we're still doing that or not.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times our different organizations are putting up, or different churches actually, are putting up little blessing boxes in front of their church. And the problem with those is there's no monitoring.
Right.
So one person can come in and, like we talked yesterday,
just wipe it out.
They are worried about themselves and their
Correct.
family. So they take everything in there.
Right.
Whereas when folks go to the food bank, they ask you how big is your family, and then they give you the resources they have to share based upon what your need is, knowing that you're probably going to be coming back. So that's a little change we've seen in McPherson anyway. But one other stat I wanted to give regarding this for the Thanksgiving time frame was in St. Louis. They had people standing in line for up to 8 hours to get a free Thanksgiving meal. It's just mind-boggling. And now we're going, not only the holidays, but we're going into winter, which always seems to be a time when people struggle.
Yeah, depending on the type of job you have.
Yeah.
It makes it harder.
So if you're listening to this podcast and you are able, please make a donation to our local food bank. You can also give food to the little blessing boxes around town.
Well, and also throughout our county. Lynchburg has one.
Oh, yeah.
Mound Ridge, Inman. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's Canton. A lot of, Canton has one. There's a lot of places in our county that you could give food, donate, whatever you can. So we would suggest that you go do that.
So do the blessing boxes, but don't neglect the food bank because they're the ones that actually kind of help monitor so everybody is able to partake.
Right.
So,
Okay.
All right.
So we have some news about Brush Up Mac.
Yep, that's right.
That's going to occur on April 19th, 2025. If you're a homeowner and you would like to be a part of that, maybe you need a wheelchair ramp, you need something painted in your home, whatever it is.
Grab bars.
Whatever you need that we can find somebody to do, we'd be happy to help you if we can find someone that is willing to volunteer. So send those in to us. You can get them at the Senior Center, Council on Aging, Chamber of Commerce. On our website, McPhersonHousingCoalition.org. Find that application, get it into us by March 1st, if you can.
For homeowners.
For homeowners,
For volunteers, we give them a little more time. You have until the end of March. But if you are putting together a team, if you would send those in all together, that helps me know that you've created a team. And if you're just a single person or your family wants to help and you think we're going to need some help, then let us know. We'll put you with somebody. So,
okay, awesome. So who do we have here today, Karolyn?
So I'm super excited. I love this organization, and we're going to talk with the president, Vicky Porter, for Outreach McPherson. So, Vicky, tell us about yourself and the organization.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Vicky Porter. I've been in McPherson now for 45 years.
Wow.
I came from Minnesota and went to college locally and stayed here and raised my children.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I've been associated with Outreach McPherson. We're an organization that is sponsored through the Free Methodist Church. And as far as I know, we've been going at least 20 years. I've been involved for the last 10. My daughter used to help, and I was helping her some, and then she asked me to join the committee, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I have a really heart for the ministry, and I can tell you about it. What do you need to know?
Okay, well, we were going to say how long has it been around. So I know when Outreach McPherson first started, they did what they called Thanksgiving baskets.
Right.
And that was a once-a-year ministry where basically paper goods and nothing food-wise, but like diapers, paper goods, cleaning stuff would all go out in a basket once a year. And it was really confusing for people because we called it Thanksgiving baskets, but there was no food, but it went out about that time frame. And so I just remember people were always like, well, where's the turkey? But we had to quit doing that during COVID, right?
Yes.
They stopped with that, yeah.
Do you know how this whole thing got started? How did furniture? People don't realize when you have a home, especially if you've been homeless or you're moving out for the first time, lots of different things. People don't have beds or dressers, things that I would take for granted. And they can't afford to do it. They can't afford to go find that stuff.
Well, some people at the Free Methodist Church saw a need for furniture, bedding, beds, and they also saw that there was many people that wanted to donate furniture that they were getting used to and didn't want it to end up in the landfill. They didn't want to have a yard sale, so they assembled and got a storage unit and got a volunteer group that would man the phone. So each week another volunteer takes the phone and your phone calls and matching up people who wanted to donate as well as people who had a need. And that's how it got started, and it's been going on since then.
Have you seen any really heartwarming stories where something really like made you cry or some emotional?
So many over the years. It's when you get a grandparent calling you and say, my grandchildren are getting out of foster care and I need beds or I can't receive them. And we're able to supply a bed for each one of the grandchildren. Or you have people who have been homeless or are homeless and they're getting their first home and they're starting completely over. And we're able to give them a couch and a table and chairs and lamps and small appliances. And we even take large appliances. Dennis Minner has been gracious enough to refurbish any large appliances that come into our ministry to make sure that they work. And he's great at fixing washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves. And we're able to donate them when they come in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we provide housing, but then you think about those other important components for kids, especially to have a bed to sleep in. I think one of the people that moved into her cottages, she had said this was the first bed she ever had of her own. I mean, that just breaks your heart that somebody doesn't have a bed.
Yes.
You know?
Well, I think that, honestly, I've partnered with Vicky in this, and it's amazing to me. We always think of McPherson as being kind of this wealthy community or people that have the means to get what they need. But the number of people that we have sleeping on the floor or sleeping on just a pad, they can't sit around the table and have supper together. Those are the stories that just break your heart because you realize that, it's hard to function as a family when you don't have a place to sleep correctly every night or well. You don't have a place to sit as a family and talk about the day and those kinds of things. Vicky, what kind of furniture do you guys accept? And then the other side of that is, what won't you accept?
We basically accept anything in good condition that we think our people will need. We don't accept like large entertainment centers because we don't have room to store them and it's hard to move them. We don't accept sofa sleepers just because of the size and the weight of them. Mm-hmm. Unless somebody donates one and there's somebody that's calling and asking for one and we can arrange them to pick it up. We accept all lamps, pictures, mirrors.
Oh, I didn't know all that.
Yes, we accept. A lot of people don't have any way to
that's really good
decorate
to know.
Their homes, too.
Yeah, that's really good to know.
And so we accept small tables, large tables, dining room sets, couches, love seats, and, of course, beds. Beds and mattresses are our greatest need. A lot of times we don't have them to donate. If we don't have any, then the people just have to wait. If we get funds into our ministry, we're able to buy them locally. But as you know, prices have increased so much, and we aren't able to purchase a lot of them, but we do try to purchase new beds.
Mm-hmm. So I always laugh when I have the phone. It's my week for the phone. We don't take pianos. We don't take water beds.
No.
If you can't move it, I can't move it. Because I am not a spring chicken. Vicki, tell us about your volunteers that help.
We have a volunteer of 7 different people that take the phone, and we take a week at a time. Our medium age is 60. Our oldest volunteer is in his 80s. Our youngest is in his 30s, and we call him our muscle. Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice to have somebody that's strong. We have limited our ability to pick up things or deliver things just because of our aging volunteer staff. And so we do ask you to arrange your own delivery and pickup. So if you have things to donate, if you can get together with your relatives or friends and deliver it to our sheds, that helps us out a lot.
So are you open to volunteers? Let's say I say to the people, our viewers, to say, hey, would you be interested in volunteering? Could they call you and say, hey, we want to sign up. We have a couple young guys and they want to help out in the community?
Yes, we would put a list together of people who are able to pick up or delivery. If you wanted to be on the committee, you can contact our organization, and it would be a week commitment every 7 weeks that you take the phone and you meet the people at the sheds and to take deliveries or to give away items.
And that's not bad, every 7 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. You need just one more, and then it would be every 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay, people, do you hear me?
Well,
I need at least one more.
Yeah, as a volunteer, it's nice because that week you have the phone. If you're at work and you can't answer the phone, people leave a message, and you call them back when you get off work. You also get to then control when you pick up or drop off at the shed so that you have some control over your schedule. And if your life is nutso one day, you just don't do anything that day. You move to the next. So.
Right. We don't have set hours as far as when the sheds are open. We just arrange a time for pickup or when people want to deliver.
Vicki, what number do they call to reach you?
620-241-7179.
And if I forget that number, but I know that it's attached to the Free Methodist Church, can I call there and leave a message?
Yes, you can, and they will actually transfer that call to our number, and the volunteers will get that message.
Oh, that's nice.
Awesome.
That's really a great setup. So as far as, if I want to donate, it's the same thing. I just call you, and then somebody will get a hold of me, and then we can figure out a time that I can bring that to you. I've been in those sheds, by the way. They are packed.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends. We go from packed where we're stacking couches on each other, or we're going to almost zero inventory.
So where are you now? Are you in zero inventory now, or are you guys in pretty
We
good
are
shape?
in medium inventory. We do have some chairs and tables and couches. We have no beds right now.
No beds. Okay.
And so if anybody would have mattresses, we take twin, full, and queen, the frames and the mattresses, box springs. We generally do not take king just because of this, again, the size. And a lot of people don't have room for a king if they're moving into their housing. So we generally don't take that. But again, if we can match a need with a king, we will. We don't take like hospital beds, again, because of the specific need. I would say if you have a hospital bed, you should go on the radio or list it in Mac Community's place.
The other thing that we have tried to do, and I don't know that we're real successful with it, but that it would be bedding and sheets. That gets a little more difficult, especially if they don't come to us in a package or wrapped somehow so we know they're clean and what size they are.
Yes, we do. We try to, when we give out our beds, a lot of times people don't have beddings. And so we do try to supply mattress pads, sheets, blankets, pillows. And so if people want to donate gently used bedding, it is helpful if it's marked what size it is and if it's in a bag that we can put it in our inventory that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of good information. Pictures, bedding. I had no idea that you did all of that. That really makes it nice for a family if they can get some pillows and sheets and blankets. Because it's great to have a bed, but if I don't have a blanket,
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Well, in Storage Town, Dana Clark has been very generous with giving us the place to store.
Yeah, we rent it from them through the Free Methodist Church.
And that has given us a little bit larger place to hold everything, which makes it easier to manage. And what about Reuse It? Does Reuse It help us at all?
Yes, they do. Because Reuse It doesn't take anything upholstered, they will call us and have people deliver it to us then if they want to deliver something like a couch or chairs. Or they will call our ministry and they'll save it for us and we'll pick it up so that it doesn't go to the landfill again. Couches, anything, chairs that is upholstered.
It is amazing to me how connected we all are.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have Reuse It. They do stuff for us. We do stuff, for the families they work with. And we have Outreach McPherson that's doing that, who's connected to them. And it's just this big chain. And I just love seeing how we're all connected in McPherson County, how people are just really working to stay in their area and support one another. I just think it's the coolest thing. And I think that's why we do so well here.
Yeah.
Why maybe we have problems, obviously, like anybody else, but we don't wait till something is catastrophic before we handle it.
Right.
We wait and when we saw the need for a homeless shelter, we took care of it before we had encampments.
Yeah.
You guys saw a need for furniture and you started to collect furniture and, it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
To be able to have all of that.
So, Vicki, does Outreach McPherson take donations? Do you get grants? How do you get your money to help you with the expenses that come along with the organization?
Actually, we have no expenses because we're sponsored by the Free Methodist Church, and they take care of the shed rental and the phone. So any monetary donations that come in are used solely to buy beds. We do apply for grants through the McPherson Community Foundation. And we also get monies from CUM, Churches United in Ministry, and Reuse It donates. We do our setup with Dillon's that you can go on there and have your donations run through Dillon's as one of the organizations. So we do get money from them each month. Most people don't donate any money when they get something. Every once in a while, somebody will donate to the organization, and we will say this money goes strictly into our account. There is no cost to use our service. We don't have any forms. It's just a need.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Do you want to ask her the question you ask everybody at the end?
I always ask this question. So if money was not an issue, what would be your ideal thing that you could do with Outreach McPherson? What would be your dream?
My dream would be that anybody that calls and they had a need for a bed or a couch, that we could supply it. That we wouldn't have to say, no, we don't have that in our inventory right now.
So every child has a bed, every individual.
Adult, yep.
That would be incredible, too. That's a great answer. I love that. I always ask everybody, and we don't ever tell you ahead of time so that we can see, where your heart is and what you're really thinking. So we don't want you preparing for that answer.
Well, and I'll speak just as a volunteer. One of the best parts of being connected with this organization is the fact that when you're taking a bed to somebody and the child comes running out, and you can tell this is their bed. So, you mentioned delivering to people. We've got people sleeping on the floor. That's where the reward comes in, is when the kid comes out and you can tell, you just brought this child to bed. They've been sleeping who knows where. So,
yeah, and people always ask, well, you have all these different people on your show, and what's it have to do with housing? Well, this is part of making it a home. It's not just a house, but you are making a home for families, and that is an incredible ministry.
Yes,
that's an incredible thing. So I'm excited. It's an incredible ministry. The fact that people actually thought of it and are still going 20 years later, however long it's been, but we do need more volunteers. It sounds like the population is aging. So if you're out there and you really want to volunteer, this would be awesome. It's a great place to volunteer. They need your assistance. They need your muscles, right?
Right.
Muscles?
Yeah. Muscles, yeah.
So,
yes.
So please call them if you have something to donate, if you want to volunteer.
If you want to give them financial support.
If you'd like to give them some money, they could use money for beds. If you want to go to a bed store and buy a whole bunch of beds and donate them, I bet they'd take them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, Vicki, what's that number again for them to get a hold of you?
620-241-7179 is McPherson Outreach.
All right. Well, guys, we are at the end of our podcast. If you'd be interested or you know somebody who would be interested in being on Housing for Good, drop us a line, leave us a review, housingforgood@mcphersonhc.org. Thank you for listening today.
Have a great day.